今回はドルイドの城へ行きます。
Hey, you're out of bounds here. Go if you want to live.
Keep your eyes open.
敵はまあまあ多いので倒しながら進みます。城内の敵を先に倒してからまず鍵を探します。
Hey, death to you. 鍵は左の厨房みたいなところに置いてありました。ここで鍵を使って先へ進みます。 Hell's teeth.
I'll find you. You will be more use dead. Go up. Aye, that's bloody right.
一応ショートカットを開通しておきます。大神官の声がするので、それを頼りに先へ進みます。
Sacrifice has always been the way. The profane shall feed the divine. Stone and soil, flesh and blood. The land needs the spring. And so we breathe life into it. God is in this land. And this land is God.
この地下は広いので結構迷いました。
Not know the purpose. Faith is in the act, as it has always been. Sacrifice has always been the way. The profane shall feed the divine. Stone and soil, flesh and blood.
Heretics will die!
Well, there's nobody here now.
ここは敵の数が多かったので少し苦戦しました。
Oh, here we go! Heretics will die.
This land is God. Has always been the way. Fame shall feed the divine. Stone and soil, flesh and blood. The land needs the spring. And so we breathe life into it.
正直に言って暗いので同じところをぐるぐる回っている感じでした。
And this land is God. We hear the sacrifice has always been the way. Fame shall feed the divine. Stone and soil, flesh and blood.
適当に歩いていたらはしごがあったので登りました。
Needs the spring. And so we breathe life into it. God is in this land. And this land is God. We hear the purpose, but we do not know the purpose. Faith is in the act, as it has always been.
ここで依頼の本を見つけ、さらに近くでパン屋のための薬のレシピが手に入ります。 それではマザーに本を渡します。
Pleasure to see you again, dear. Well, well, I'll be honest. You ask anyone to help you round here, and the chances of ever seeing them alive again are not wonderful. Very pleased you're an exception, dear. Oh, well, now that's a story and a half. The quick version is they're what's left of a crowd of monks thrown out of their monastery back in the time of good Queen Bess. Odd, isn't it? In school, we're told it were her dad Henry being the one to close abbeys and such like, and that's mostly true. But this were different, right? Even after their abbey was taken from them, they stayed local. They felt the land was sacred, you see, that they couldn't leave. Please take this, a token of my gratitude. It's a sort of learning juice made by the scientists. You can sometimes find it in their old bunkers. Not much good came of those boffins and their science, but this stuff is marvellous. It opens the mind, you see. Of course, a fair trading compensation is one thing I can offer. But listen, what is it you need? Truly need? Perhaps an escape from all this suffering? You are a curious soul, aren't you? I'm pleased. The first step toward escape is understanding. Look, you and I may have more in common than you realize. If you'll trust me, I can send you somewhere where you might find some answers. Something more than I alone can offer. Take this and go to the Speaking Cave. I'll show you where to find it on your map. While you have this, the folk in the woods will let you pass, but only as long as you don't offer violence. There is no need for bloodshed. Leave the offering at the foot of the figure you'll find there. You'll know it when you see it, believe me. Wonderful. I can see my feeling about you was right. Do as I tell you, and if you are prepared to see, then you'll understand that much more clearly. Take care, won't you?
次はレシピで薬を作って、その薬をパン屋に渡します。
Did you want something? Oh, Lord, the tonic, thank you. Look, I don't have much, but please, take this. I really am grateful, so very grateful. It should keep my husband's symptoms at bay, at least for a little while. That's all any of us can ask for, eh? To survive just one more day. Pop back another time, you know, if you'd like to see him. Now, I should be getting on. Bye now.
それでは村の中を少し探索してからインターチェンジの電源を供給しに行きます。
Welcome to Wyndham Village. Pardon my curiosity, but how is it the soldiers let you in? Did you bribe them? And if you did, what with? Aye, well, I can hazard a guess. Our little Napoleon, the captain that is, he keeps an eye out for folk like you. A stranger might be important. And if you're important, then that's another stepping stone out of the zone, isn't it? Anyway, where are me manners, eh? I'm Maurice Wick, owner of this establishment. Take a look at what I have to offer, if you fancy. Oh, you'd have to ask him that yourself. I'll leave that pleasure to you. Me, I'm happy here in the shop, where I never have to look at the man. big explosion, that's what. I remember it woke the whole village. We were out in the streets, wondering what were what. I mean, with all them atoms and such like they have over there. The soldiers rolled in and told us we were fine, that there weren't no radioactivity to be frit of. But then, in the next breath, they said we couldn't leave. Temporary quarantine protocol, they called it. Temporary, my hat. Look at them walls. Nowt temporary about them, is there? We had no choice but to take it on the chin. So we did. Well, most of us did, anyhow. In the months after the disaster, some people started to turn a bit odd. Nothing bad, just different, you know. Kept going on about the soil calling to them. People you'd known your whole life, proper sober folk, suddenly talking about a new purpose. Then one night, they all upped and marched off into woods. Soldiers have been properly down about any talk, since that might sound a bit, you know, pagan. I shouldn't be talking about it neither.
A new customer.
次はバーへ移動します。
Often we're seeing new faces here. My name's Alf Buckshaw. Welcome to what's likely the last pub in Cumberland, such as it is. Now, what can I do for you? Fountains of beer, dancing girls, and the finest cuisine in the land. Well, we've got some beer. And I found a pickled onion in a jar in the back of the cupboard. Seriously, mind, I can get me hands on things. Some pretty hard to find things at that. And feeling that, I can offer conversation. No gossip, mind you. Get locked up for gossip these days. I suppose I might be able to help a friendly traveller out. What sort of gear did he have in mind? Oh, aye. Well, look. There's ways and means. The old government bunkers, the ones they reckon were secret. Like anything stays secret round here for long. If it's special gear you want, have a poke round in any bunker you find. I've heard there's some grand doings to be had in them, but watch yourself. Few of them are safe. You let me know if there's aught else I can help you with. Keep your bloody voice down. Nothing brings the soldiers down on you faster than talking about that. Mayhap I heard rumours of it, but I can't see it out more than that. A favour, eh? Well, aye. Maybe that might be what I need right now. All right, let's talk. One of them scientists, in particular, used to come to drink in here. Before it all went arse upwards, that is. He liked his ale, that fella, and ale made him chatty. He told me he worked in something called the interchange. Never said quite where it were, but he used to stagger off towards the substation round the back of here. So that might be worth a deco. Well, he said he worked on some gadget with that Dr. Garrow, who were a big noise over at the site. He called it a signal redirector. Top secret. Only a few of them made at the doctor's request. I've no idea what they were for. You could do worse than talk to Nora. She were there at the time, and she has a good brain, has Nora. She hides out in her barn on Skethermoor. I'll mark it for you. Look, you didn't hear any of that from me, all right? Quiet as the grave, mate. Now, about that favour. I need to collect a few messages. Not important, you understand, but I can't stick me nose out of the door without the soldiers taking an interest. You they'll let walk out of the village, so I need you to go to Skethermoor for us. Oh, don't worry yourself. The messages aren't incriminating her out, if that's what's worrying you. They're just You know, important to me. There's something in it for you and all. Not asking you to do out for nout. I need a message collecting from Nora. Careful with her. She's not fond of strangers. But it'll be all right if you see I sent you. The other note is with a fella who skulks all over Skethermore. But we have a meeting place. I'll mark it on your map. Fair warning, though. Out in Skethermore, soldiers don't care who or what you are. They'll shoot before they ask. Well, after it all went to cock and we got quarantined, London started sending in soldiers. To start with, folk were happy to see them. But after a while, it turned out there was bugger all they could do to help. When they found out they weren't being let back through the wall again, well, it got nasty. Plenty round here, I reckon. It's what it would have been like if the Nazis had invaded after all. Of course, you didn't hear that from me, all right? Who knows what them boffins were up to? But I don't think that atom plant going pop was part of the plan, do you? Or at least they told us it were an atom plant. So where are all the atoms, eh? I've heard a thing or two about radioactiveness, and by all rights, none of us should be standing here. Anyhow, I shouldn't be gossiping about this stuff. Oh, I think we can manage that. Bet you weren't expecting to find a place like Wyndham still ticking over after all what's gone on here, were you now? Folk will get used to anything given time. Which isn't to say, it's not nice to see some new faces coming through here now and then. Reminds a fella just how strange this all really is. The captain likes strangers too. He treats them better than he does the rest of the village. Means you can do things us regular folk can't. Don't think you're special. It's just the captain's way of getting the measure of you. New faces remind him there's still an outside. Likely hopes you might know a way out of the quarantine zone. Me? Well, I know there isn't one. So I shan't be bothering you on that score.
次は教会ですが、前に行った時に殺人事件が発生していました。
Oh, I'm sorry, we're closed today. Please, I beg of you. Just forget you saw anything here and go. Please. These are awful times. If news of this gets out, things will get worse, I assure you. Please, tell no one. I know how it seems, but I would not ask such a thing if it weren't for the good of the village. It's vital the military don't learn of this. We'll tidy up, but if the captain and his toy soldiers find out, things will become so much worse here. All I can concern myself with right now is keeping this quiet. I must decide what to do about this before any soldier wanders in. I would suggest you let all this lie too. The matter is best left to the village to handle. All too many a reason, I'm sad to say. There are certain beliefs around here. Harmless before the disaster, but since, with the protocol now imposing their law, it has all become somewhat tribal. Maisie here must have got mixed up in something. The weapon that was used to, a peculiar choice. It puts me in mind of those debauched druids out in the woods. Well, we call them druids. I'm not sure what they call themselves. The disaster seems to have fostered the return of some distinctly atavistic, indeed thoroughgoing pagan sentiments around here. The following sprang up in Casterfell Woods shortly after, in the ruins of an old castle, and has since bloomed into a vicious cult. Certain death. That's what you'll be met with if you choose to enter the woods. I advise you to stay well away. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to work out. I trust you will do what is right.
次は発電所内にインターチェンジの入り口があるので、そこへ入って電源を2箇所供給します。
There you are. I'll find you if you're out there.
前と同じように扉を開けます。
Access granted. The interchange.
それでは内部を探索します。 ここは感染するので今回はやめました。ここで前に行った場所とつながったので、以前行った場所へ行って電源を供給します。電源が供給されたので新しく行けるところが増えました。
Power restored in Data Store Charlie. Analysis. Quarantine has been lifted in this sector. Access granted to medical facility. Status report. Spectroscopy analysis of biological sample 1 was aborted with no positive matches. Partial results have been stored in Casterfield Ward's memory bank.
.感染した敵もいるので倒して探索再開です。
They're not coming for us. They were never coming for us, oh God. Perkins is dead. It's been 12 hours. Just how long does it take to evacuate one facility? Word from Jack is that the military have locked down the site. Not a peep from Emma since... What are we calling it? Explosion? They aren't telling us anything. Perkins is muttering about the Lord of the Flies now, the bloody fool. I shall strike him if he comes near me with that nonsense.
医療施設は現段階で倒せない感染者がいるので探索は断念しました。
Hello? Hello? The instrument's just registered an emergency access. Whoever's in here, I mean you no harm. This is Joyce Tanner. I was part of the investigation team on Convoy 5. And, well, I don't know how you got into this place, but it's bloody marvelous. I'm in Data Store Charlie. Get to me if you can.
ではジョイスに会いに行きます。
We meet again. I gather that you're the one who's responsible for restoring the power supply here. Well, it seems I've greatly underestimated you. I'm sorry I was so dismissive of you before. I'd had so much trouble with this place. It just seemed incredible that anyone else might manage it. I've been trying to get in here for simply ages. I'd just about given up hope. To be perfectly frank, I only got in by shadowing you and tiptoeing in here after you. A tad underhand of me, I know, but just look at this place. Isn't it amazing? Help! You've changed everything. You might just have tipped the scale in our favor. Isn't it a remarkable sight? The interchange in all its glory. I was beginning to think I'd never see the inside of it. Think of all the secrets that might be hidden here. Well, the interchange itself seems to be wired together like some sort of big computer. These data stores all connect to the central data processor. Though with the power cut, it looks like it's gone into a sort of a dormant state. No doubt that was part of the drill to get this place mothballed when the disaster happened. Whatever it was. As for the research they were doing here, well, I don't know. You could poke around and find out, I suppose. The important thing is that we're in here, and I cannot overstate my delight that you managed it. Now, finally, there's a chance I can get into the communication systems proper. And listen, we don't need to trust each other just yet, but maybe we can work together. It's a bit of a two-person job, this. Look, if I can get a message through the interference field, I should be able to sort out an exit for us. I'd need a whole array of transmitters to punch through the interference, though. There are a few radio towers across the area that should do the trick. I've restored power to them, but I seem to be locked out of their controls. The operators must have isolated the towers from the network when the quarantine was declared. But look, if you could find each tower and release the security lock, I can fiddle around this end and try to use the array to blast out a signal. Here, I'll give you map coordinates for each tower. Good luck. Do your best. And try not to get eaten by any goblins.
最後に1箇所電源を供給したら今回は終わります。
report. Spectroscopy analysis of biological sample 1 was aborted with no positive matches. Partial results have been stored in Casterfield Ward's memory bank.